Roger Gullod fighting out of the Hammer Nation Fight Team. And another assignment for the Hebrew Hammer right behind us. Literally going to walk from the corner over to the entrance to the area. So this corner team just staying out. Back-to-back pupils out on the canvas. Roger Gullod, orthodox, 5'5". He's 0-1. You can see he still has that headgear on. Are they taking it off? Oh, they're taking the shirt off over the headgear. As we wait in deliberation. And the crowd is certainly filled out now, about 8 bouts, or exactly 8 bouts into this evening. RFC always able to pack out whatever venue we are in. Of course, that speaks to the great matchmaking of Coach Ricky at Rigoro Gym, right? All the work that goes in behind the scenes to make these things possible. Well, Erick Patzan Cox, fighting under Julio Rodriguez and fighting out of North Bergen MMA and boxing, is a fantastical talent, right? Very quick, very fast hands. He's fluid with his head movement, with his offense. He likes to stay in the pocket. Expect a fantastic and deliberate push of the pace from this young man here tonight. Here we go now. Patzan Cox making his way into the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next fight is scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds. The referee in charge of the action, NJ Mack. First introducing and fighting under the blue corner, he stands at 5'5" tall, weighing in at 126 pounds. Under Hammer Nation out of Aberdeen, New Jersey, Roger Gullod. And his opponent, standing and fighting out of the red corner, stands at 5'5" tall, weighing in at 125 pounds. Under Senshi Tori out of North Bergen, New Jersey, Erick Patzan.
All right, here we go. Our 8th bout of the evening, set for 3 2-minute rounds. With a couple of fast and explosive 125ers. Immediately notice Gullod just staying behind that jab. Nice leg kicks. Oh, good restraint there from Patzan. Not overextending himself and not hitting his opponent in the back of the head. Patzan staying true to his mobility there, kind of circling out, dealing well with the pressure of Gullod. Nice head movement too. See, that's what I'm talking about. That quick pressure, kind of in the pocket boxing where he's able to get his head off the center line and chain together some nice combinations. That's classic Paxton. Despite the speed in which we're seeing these combinations being thrown, you know, it seems like they are waiting to find their shots. Gullod's corner calling for a head kick and an angle. Nice leg kicks out of Gullod too. Oh! And that body kick of Patzan rings throughout the stadium. It seems like for what Patzan has in volume and forward pressure, Gullod is matching with just patience, right? Finding his shots, countering, using feints. But that's not going to win him this fight, though. it is the cleaner fighting style, right? And it looks better. But in these amateur events, again, we talked about it. It's, oof, nice body kick there. It's forward pressure and it's damage. And how well you could showcase your arsenal. And right now, Patzan Cox is doing just that. End of round number 1. Gonna have to give that first one to Patzan Cox. Again, I do think, though, that Gullod was fighting the more technical fight, right? Like, he was finding his openings and countering. Patzan Cox, though, not really giving him a time to kind of settle in a big way. And that's important. See again there the Hebrew hammer in the corner of his athlete. All right, here we go, round number 2 of a potential 3. And Patzan Cox, picture of intensity here. Oh! And those leg kicks of Patzan Cox really doing some damage. He's throwing them right as Gullod tries to enter the pocket, which is really, really smart because it gets him off keel, but more importantly, it leaves him open to shots. Nice head movement out of Patzan Cox. Again, you see that it's multiple times that he's landed that. It's almost like a sweep. Nice 1-2 out of Cox. Tries upstairs with that head kick. So Gullod's got to get on his bike here, start answering back. Patzan Cox is running away with this. It really doesn't matter about technique, it matters about forward pressure. And Gullod's corner calling for him, to get that respect. It's exactly what he needs. Because Patzan Cox is just moving forward constantly. He does not have a lot of respect for what's coming back at him. That much is clear. I believe the crowd's verbalizing their support for Patzan Cox. And you can hear even the shots connecting when Patzan throws. He's got some power. Nice body kick there. And Patzan Cox is just cannibalizing that body. Gullod might be a little bit hurt. He is. Is he going to be able to answer? And he is in a bad way, Gullod. He's able to answer the count, but coming into this third round, he needs a Hail Mary finish, and Patzan Cox is not going to take his foot off the gas. Gullod just taking a nice swig of water. I mean, that was maybe we could see a replay of that. That body shot that dropped him had him on all fours. And that was a connection. If that was a connection I thought it was, that you could hear it clearer than the other shots too. Here we go. Big round number 3 for both men. Patzan Cox looking for a finish undoubtedly. Gullod looking to survive, and not just survive, get a finish of his own, because he needs one. That last round being a 10-8, he needs a very convincing round. At the very least, he needs a knockdown. Patzan Cox just coming forward with pressure. Nice response there from Gullod, though. Patzan Cox throws wildly. He does have a tendency to leave his head exposed, his chin exposed, when he comes in. And so if Gullod can time a really good counter in there, he could potentially change the tide of this fight. And Erick Patzan Cox pouring on the pressure now. This is what led to that knockdown last round. Ref separates them. And the body language of Gullod, not promising. Oh my goodness. And he's right in front of the commentary booth now. And Patzan Cox just dropping in body shot after body shot, going upstairs with the boxing, going downstairs with the knees and the kicks. Oh. And oh my, I mean, you see how exhausted Gullod is, and that's another knockdown. And yeah, that's it. They're calling it. Patzan Cox gets it done via body shot. And what a way to get back into winning ways for the young man here tonight, especially since his last loss came at the hands of John Lore in this very same building. Perfect technique, timed Gullod up perfectly, came in with that pressure, with those knees, and really just drained that body, assaulted that body. Let's get a replay of that if we can, because that was perfect kickboxing. Well, we'll see a replay if we can. If not, there it goes. So here's the fight-ending sequence, if I'm to be correct. And you see Patzan Cox just constantly coming forward, whether it's boxing up top. There's a shot here. You're going to see he lands it, and boom. And that's the fight-ending shot. Let's throw it over to Steve Mason in the cage for your official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, un momento. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for your winner by way of TKO, 1 minute 19 seconds in the third round, fighting out of the red corner, Erick Patzan.
And what an emphatic finish for Mr. Patzan Cox.